Alrighty guys, Torchlight Infinite is finally out now, and man, it's been a hell of a ride. So today I'm going to start the brand new series where basically I call it the Hero Introduction Series. Essentially, I show you guys pretty much my own build of it and just give you a general idea of like the exact amount of power and utility you can use every character. So today's showcase is Rehan, our angry of the entire world. Berserker type of guy. So essentially I'm going to show you guys the build, and I'm going to actually run up some chaos invasion. So essentially this is an fire build. I kind of came up with this on the spot, but I actually kind of like his fire build. So essentially for my main attack I have Flame Slash, and I have it at least about 49,000 DPS, and it's mainly everything is focusing on strictly fire and anything else. A Hammer of Amber, basically just utilizing as much thing I can boost it up as much as possible. At Fire Burst, kind of you will see some of the passive skills around it will essentially just continue and enhance it, because I want to at least create enough fire as much as I can. And then my last two are utility. Mainly for this case, it's just mainly keeping him nice and his defense up, making sure his health doesn't drain, because I have no way of healing myself other than using life regain from different abilities and such. So I have Reform and as well as Fearless Roll Cry, mainly just to boost myself up so I can be able to run through mobs much faster. Now my passive skills, I have Flame Imbue. Like I said, we're working on that. Fire build as well as charged flames. I have auto defense to be able to help with my defense, and I have swiftness just so I can move faster and run through the invasions as fast as I can.
The strongest warrior in
Then
Valgam.
we have my talent tree, which I went with the God of Might, the Warlord, and the Blood Striker. And my utilities to go with those is I am using Burnout, which basically gives me an extra fire damage. I am using Fueling, which just ignores enemies' fire resistance. For Warlord, I am running Wildfire. Basically, it gives me extra 100% additional fire damage against low life enemies. And as well as True Flame, which basically enemies who die from fire damage will explode, dealing DOT damage per second for the fire. And as well as Blood Striker, which I am running Momentum, which 50% of my attack damage for the next 2 uses of main skill after being defeated. This stat cannot stack over, and as well as have no loose ends, which is plus 300 attack critical strike rating on full life. So essentially this is a whole fire build. Like I'm actually enjoying playing as Rehan, and if you guys want to be able to see other stuff that I have, then we're gonna run up, we'll do time mark. We'll do time mark 3. Now, I got clapped a couple of times doing like the higher time mark, so I'm gonna just keep doing builds to see like what exactly works. And right now, like, this is a level 99 anger build. Oh, I didn't get the chance to show you guys. So my hero traits. So first I have anger, so while I am berserk, I can trigger my burst once on hit, and I can be able to do burst damage. I have critical strike rating for every rage. I have rampaging, which my burst now has 2 support skills, which then I gain 3 rage when defeating an enemy. I have boiling anger, which gives me a 15 rage on critical strike, and as well as reverberation, which is a plus 50% chance for active skill critical strikes to trigger burst. And my 2 supportive skills to go with it is added fire damage, because like I said, we're wanting to really enhance that amount of fire. And we are also utilizing, what is the skill? Oh, so extra ignite. That's another thing. Basically increasing the amount of ignite, since it is a thing that will basically tear them down. So we're gonna actually shoot for this and see how well this works. Oh my god. And like, if I even get near somebody, they just receive damage. And they just melt, evaporate. 66,000. And as you can see, like, I even have a AoE, so if they're near me, they also just receive even more fire damage. While trying to keep my mana up and health as well.
Keep fighting from victory to victory. Not yet.
And Fearless Warcry, that's what's actually helping me deal even extra damage, because they're just next to me. Just being next to me. Oh wait, there's more people that need to be clapped up. Just being next to me just causes more fire damage. And if you guys do enjoy this video or enjoy this build, I'll actually try to leave my main abilities in the comments, in the description below. So if you guys want to be able to copy this build, or you actually enjoy Rehan's fire build, well, you can definitely try out my build. Mainly just using 2 utilities, 3 main attacks, and just having everything increase my fire. No healings, you're just mainly going off of life regain from utilizing your skills that support it by going through the talent tree. And just being just a wrecking blizzard. One-shot kills if needed. Obliterate them as much as possible. And I will be doing a build for every character. So Rehan was first on my list since, you know, never go wrong with a Berserker build anyway. This is not bad. Like, time mark 3, definitely, I wouldn't say too much of a challenge. Like, it's not the hardest, but I actually attempted to do like the highest time mark and I just got clapped. Granted that I need particular gear, which I haven't really received too much. I've just been using like my base gear. Haven't got any legendaries. I'm probably just gonna go through the trade auction and see what they can get there, but I'll show you the gear that I have for this build in a second. Oh my god. It's these bats that just deal insane amounts of damage for some reason. Oh my lord. Yeah, these elite enemies, man. Goblin High Priest. Time to get clapped up, my boy. And of course, the Berserker state really helps out a lot. And if I'm not mistaken, I am doing a glacial level, so if the enemies have high fire resistance, my main skill for my talent tree just ignores it, so I can do even extra damage as much as I can. But I'll show you guys how basic my equipment is. There we go. There we go. So this is essentially, so for my main weapon, I am using the Doomsday Maul, which basically gives me plus 64% elemental damage. It does do cold damage, which I actually am trying to find a newer weapon that can deal even fire damage, which I'm going to head to the trade auction to show you guys that. And most of these things deal cold damage. I need to really find something that can, and that's one thing that I like that is pretty good about this game, essentially, is when you can't find the correct gear, you can always go to the trade house.
Help yourself to the catalog.
Like the strength helmet, like this right here, legendary gear, gives me plus 60 to 80% at fire damage, plus 1 ignition, which is what we want. The inflicts 1 or 2 additional stacks of ignite, cold resistance, like stuff like that is what you want to be looking for the helmet, chest armor. You want anything that can enhance your fire, like this one right here, Dragon's Breath armor. You get the plus 200 220% fire damage as well, so scale up even more of your fire. Right now, gear does play a heavy part into your builds, but essentially the one thing that is cool about Torchlight Infinite, you can work with almost anything. So with the gear that was even scaling up my fire damage and just mainly just utilizing my skills and what I have at the ready, this is still a workable thing you can do. But essentially that is Rehan, our enormous, massive, beefy boy that is our Berserker. The Berserker fire build, I'm actually quite happy with it. I am going to try to do the other characters as well and coming up with some builds for them too. But honestly, I feel like Berserker and his fire is probably the best thing he can do, even though granted you can utilize any type of skills or attributes with all of the characters just because of the nature of Torchlight Infinite. And last but not least, I think my pact, it's nothing too crazy. Like I just enhance my attack damage, attack speed, spell damage as well, so that helps with my fire attacks, critical, and just taking less damage just thanks to the pack spirits. But if you are if you're just starting Torchlight Infinite and you wanted to play as Rehan, honestly, his fire build is probably the best thing. And honestly, I feel like Rehan is the best character to get through a majority of the game pretty quickly. Like, it's just how heavy he hits and how much damage he can just tank without being a glass cannon. Like, I didn't have too much of like killing stuff, but I was just going based off of just life regen and regaining my mana passively without physically needing to use like the compound potion or using anything healing wise, like the emergency restoration. Like, Rehan is actually a tanky man, so I can't wait to be able to do like one for Yuga, Moto, which I'm gonna I have a build for Moto, but I'm gonna redo it with now that the game's officially out now. But if you guys enjoyed today's build, or if you guys have similar builds, please, I want to be able to see what you guys have in mind. Drop it in the comment section below. I want to see your builds. Let me know what you guys are doing. If you play Rehan, what was your build differently? This is essentially just showing newer players of the capabilities of Rehan, and that's the whole point of this series. So if you guys want to stay tuned for the rest of the series, definitely like the video, subscribe to the channel for more, and hopefully I'll probably choose somebody next, or I might just go in order, so Carino might be next. But as always, it's been your host, Chaos DTV, here at Chaotic Inc. signing out. Peace.
Cause when I write things, I make them manifest. I don't sleep, that's so weak, don't plan to rest. I'm from a hood where you die if you don't pack a vest. No culinary degrees, but whipping crack the best. Chefing, hard times taught lessons. Praying every night to pull up in park Benzes. What's my home is what you call trenches. You wouldn't last a day seeing life through all lenses. It's all tension, no sun, and rain and plenty, full-time job.